This may be the hardest lesson to hear of them all. After 15 years of practicing art, from illustrations to concept designs, I wanted to share 15 important lessons I have learned along the way to make your journey a little easier. But first, welcome. My name is Mia, an artist and illustrator with, you guessed it, 15 years of experience. And if you're watching this, you stumbled onto my first YouTube video. Today, while we sit and watch a painting I've just finished, I'm going to be sharing some of the most important bits of information and lessons I have learned as an artist. Some of these lessons you may have heard before, and some might be hard to hear, but hopefully you'll be able to find something valuable in each one. The first lesson is one of the most important ones for both life and art. Do it scared. You are probably always going to have a sense of fear or hesitation with art, and it's so very important that you do the thing anyway. I often get scared when working on a big piece or maybe a new subject matter that I haven't painted before. You need to continue to create even when you're scared. Otherwise, you may find yourself stuck in a state of paralysis that can be very difficult to get out of. 2. You need to make a lot of bad art. I have sketchbooks galore full of quote-unquote bad artwork, and still to this day, I make a ton of bad sketches, designs, and paintings. By just trying and experimenting, you're going to make some less than appealing pieces, but you also won't learn anything until you do. I think social media has done a bad job at painting the behind the scenes of what it's like to create artwork. You don't see most artists' messy sketches, and sometimes I also think a lot of artists don't experiment as much anymore because of it, but that's a conversation for another day. 3. You grow in your daily habits, not your ambitious dreams. And trust me when I say this, because I am an incredibly ambitious artist. If you ask my art friends, they will probably agree that I don't normally do much artwork without wanting to make a huge project out of everything. However, you won't see the most growth from your ambitious ideas that you can create maybe once or twice a month if you're lucky. You're going to grow in your daily habits, doing consistent sketches, studies, and practicing your observational skills. Even just 30 minutes a day of forming a consistent habit will help you grow exponentially more than trying to make a large piece every couple of months. 4. Trust in yourself, because no one else can do it for you. It's no secret that a career as an artist isn't necessarily a well-supported choice for many people and cultures. If you're lucky enough to have a great support system and a partner, friends, or parents, that is fantastic. But the reality for a lot of people is that you may not have someone backing your passion or dreams. This is why it is so important to trust yourself and seek validation internally, not externally. Now, this is way easier said than done, and I am still working on this actively, so do your best to put more faith into yourself a little bit at a time. 5. Slow is fast. Please do not be deceived by speed paintings or social media videos. Art is so much slower than people realize. If you're trying to draw as quickly as the videos you see online or rushing to get through a piece, you will more than likely make a lot of mistakes that you will just need to correct later on. I really encourage people to study the late Kim Jung-gi's artwork. You've probably seen his work before, even if you don't realize it. There are a lot of speed paints of him working, so that's easy to find on social media, but I want you to go to check out one of his live drawing videos. You should notice how he's going to pull back for a couple seconds to review the piece, and often hovers his brush over the page and makes a couple of ghost strokes before putting ink to paper. And this is someone considered a master of his craft, so remember to slow down and be thoughtful about your work. You're going to make less mistakes and get through the piece faster than before. 6. There will always be someone who's better than you, and that's okay. It's really important not to fall into the trap of the comparison machine. There are artists of all skill levels out there, and a lot of them might be better than you, but your only goal is to try to continue to be a better you, and you alone. I can confidently say that most of my art friends are much better than myself. They are fantastic people and so very skilled at what they do. For me, it makes me want to get that much better and work that much harder. It's not that I'm immune to the comparison machine either. I still have plenty of days where I may feel down when I see some of the incredible artists out there. But just remember to take a moment, pause, and remind yourself that you are only in competition with yourself and no one else. 7. Motivation means nothing. It's all about discipline. I cannot tell you the amount of times I have read or heard people tell me that they can't draw because they don't have the motivation to. All I have to say is, do you think I have the motivation to draw every day? No, absolutely not. Most days, yes, I absolutely love drawing, but if I only relied on drawing when I was motivated, then I would probably get nowhere fast. This is particularly important for those who may struggle with various neurodiversities, because I do think it's a little hard to get going and very easy to get stuck in a limbo of not working. Do you need to be drawing 14 hours a day to start? Absolutely not. Please do not do that. Start small and try to draw at least 20 minutes or a sketchbook page a day for about a week, and see if you can keep that up while slowly increasing the commitment. You'll end up not only building a very disciplined habit, but more than likely some momentum and routine that is going to make it easier for you to draw, even if you may be lacking the motivation in the moment. 8. There is no such thing as talent. This is another comment that I see thrown around a lot. It's that people don't have the quote-unquote talent to be an artist. I could definitely make a whole video on this topic, but to summarize, there really isn't such a thing as someone naturally talented in art. The great artists you look up to have put in years, if not decades, into studying and getting consistently better at their craft. Yes, I think some people are inclined or more passionate about art, which makes it a bit easier to put in the time needed to create good work, but no one is born painting the Sistine Chapel at a year old either. 9. This may be the hardest lesson to hear of them all, but I would like you to hear it. I will work through this one delicately, as I think it's a topic that is quite complex and entirely deserving of a revisit at a later date. If you don't do the work, someone else will. It's a hard pill to swallow, but I believe more people want to be artists now than ever before, and there is more opportunity, not job-wise, but knowledge-wise, to become an artist as well. I don't want this to get misconstrued into if you're not drawing every second of every day, you'll get left behind. But there is a big reason why a couple of the previous lessons talk about consistency in your studies. There are truly some people who study for hours a day and plenty of art school students who are absolutely forced to do so. And that one way or another will make them better. If you want to be an artist, you need to be consistently working on improving your craft. But there is a balance between working hard and working too hard. So let's get into that. Lesson 10. Take care of yourself. Being an artist is a very holistic experience. It's mind, body, and soul. Studies and practice can help you with your mind and let you create the work that can feed your soul. But I see way too many artists neglect taking care of their body. You can't draw and create if you're in poor health, and not everyone is gifted with good health to begin with. So it's incredibly important to make sure that you're getting enough sleep, or as much sleep as your projects will let you, drinking water, and eating the right food, and getting some form of exercise. This is even more true for those with neurodivergencies. How we walk through our daily lives can be different from most. And you need to take care of yourself well in the way that your body needs it. I personally find I feel the best when my body is getting nutrient-rich food, exercise, and a good bit of water. Even if you're not perfect at it, because I definitely am not, make sure you always remember to do your best to take care of your body so that you can keep doing what you love. 11. Sometimes you have to prioritize things. This can go both ways. Sometimes you need to be making more art, and sometimes you need to be making less. To start things out easy, it might not be the best idea to play 8 hours of Marvel Rivals a day, multiple days a week. It's probably wiser to limit your gaming time to an hour or two a day if your goal is to be a full-time artist. On the flip side, if you've been working 10 to 14 hours a day for weeks on end, you might deserve a little bit of a break. Trust me, the burnout monster is real and can be very powerful. So it's always a better idea to give yourself an occasional day or two off of art than to end up working so hard that you can get into a months-long or even a year-plus-long burnout session over art. My personal schedule is I try to give myself at least a half day off a week, ideally a whole day, and a couple days back-to-back off per month, with an occasional long vacation a couple times a year. I know, it's really structured, but figure out something that kind of works for you that can give yourself the mental rest you need while also keeping you disciplined at your craft. Number 12. This is hard. I mean, really hard. To actually get even halfway decent at art, it takes years of studying and practice and working. It does not happen overnight, and it's totally okay to feel like it's difficult and a struggle, because it is. But part of earning the title of being an artist is the hard work and dedication it takes to create a work of art. That's probably why so many AI fake artists whine so much about wanting to be called an artist themselves. They want the credit and notoriety of creating a piece of artwork without doing any of the real study, practice, or basic work it takes to create a full illustration or even a basic sketch. I have far more respect for people 1 to 2 years into their art journey creating their early artistic sketches because they are putting in the time to walk the journey of becoming an artist. Keep it up, you guys. You're doing great. 13. You're going to fail a lot. And I mean a lot. It's just part of the journey. At the beginning, you may miss deadlines, delivering work that your clients don't like, and in general, just making mistakes. It's a human thing. But the saying that failure is the best teacher holds true. The best thing that you can do is learn from your failures, make sure you get a little better, and most of all, allow yourself to move forward. 14. Rejection isn't personal. 95% of the time, rejection is not personal at all. I'd say most of the time, if you're rejected from an opportunity, it's probably just for a business reason. Someone had a more relevant portfolio, higher skill level, or maybe another artist just fit the budget a bit better. Even today, as I was writing the script for this video, I was rejected for a project that we were on the cusp of closing, and it's just because another artist was a bit more budget friendly. The client was great, told me that it was a budget issue, but hoped to have me come on board for the future concept art when the game was further along in development and had some more funding. You will definitely get more rejection as an artist than you will successes. It's all about dusting yourself off and just moving on ahead. 15. Art is a lifelong journey. It's so important that you enjoy the journey of art because that is all there is to it. It's both a beautiful and daunting reality, but personally, I don't think there is ever a chance to reach the peak of an artist. Even the great masters of art back to the Roman era were lucky to master a handful of subject matters. Katsushika Hokusai, the artist behind The Great Wave, wrote many great insights about growing as an artist and the never-ending pursuit of mastery. One of my favorite quotes of his is the following: "Ever since I was 6, I have been obsessed with the drawing of shapes of things. By the time I was 50, I had published countless drawings, but nothing I produced before the age of 70 is worthy of note. Not until I was 73 did I begin to understand the structure of nature as it truly is, the structure of animals, plants, trees, birds, and fish and insects. Thus, by the time I am 80, I will have made some real progress. At 90, I will fathom the mystery of things. At 100, I will surely have reached a phenomenal level. And when I'm 110, everything I do, be it a dot or a line, will be alive. I would ask anyone living as long as I do to see if I am true to my word. Written at the age of 75 by me, formerly called Gyakkyo Rojin, the old madman of art." And with that, I leave you with 15 things that I have learned so far in my life as an artist. And as I launch this channel, I hope to grow and teach other artists more as I continue my journey. And then maybe, like Hokusai, by the time I am 70, I will have something truly valuable to share with you all. I'll see you in the next video.